Now, gentlemen, here we go. Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Cartersville City Council to order. If you'll please stand for our invocation and pledge.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let us bow our heads for a word of prayer. Our Father in heaven, once again, we assemble ourselves in the chambers of government for the city of Cartersville. Once again, we lean on you for guidance, understanding, and wisdom. Come down, be in the midst of this gathering, that we make wise decisions that affects the citizens of Cartersville, Georgia. Be with us, guide us, and direct us, and we'll be so grateful. We ask these blessings and our blessings in your Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Drake, the roll, please.
Carrie Hodge, Ward 1. Jay Stepp, Ward 2.
Here.
Carrie Roth, Ward 3.
Here.
Calvin Cooley, Ward 4. Calvin Cooley, Ward 4.
Here.
Gary Fox, Ward 5.
Here.
Taff Wren, Ward 6.
Julia will excuse Calvin. He is surrounded by poor influences this evening.
I'm not sitting next to him.
Adjacent. I do, before we get started this evening, I do want to, I think I'll speak for all of council, that our hearts and minds are with Carrie Hodge on the loss of her father, Tim Thompson. This week, had a chance to see her today, and so we just continue to support her, and we'll look forward to having her back at our next meeting. Also, want to recognize the passing of Jimmy Dellinger last week, somebody who gave an awful lot to this community in his time, his talent, and his entrepreneurship. Certainly one of those community leaders that whose impact had a tremendous positive influence in a number of different areas in our community. And the fruit of his labor will continue to be a positive force in our community for many years to come. On top of all that, he'll be remembered probably most for his kindness along with his generosity. So just wanted to give our best well wishes to their family, to his family as well. Council, tonight we'll start off with the approval of our council meeting minutes from January 19. And everybody's had an opportunity to look those over. And now be the chance to make any edits to those, if any are needed. If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved unanimously. Ms. Reed, get us started this evening, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am coming to you with a recommendation from our board for the appointment of 2 new board members. One would be Jason Frederick from Southern Cove. The other is Laura Jeanneret representing Laura J. Designs. Both are downtown business owners.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Lily on this item? Any discussion needed? If there's none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Mr. Porta, you've got some appointments as well.
Yes, sir. The Convention and Visitor Bureau, 2 members of the CVB, board members are up and they're willing to continue on. Jennifer Wiggins Matthews and David Friedrich like to continue serving. If reappointed, their terms will expire December 31st, 2026.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Menino, you're up next, sir.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Cartersville's comprehensive plan is part of a joint overall Bartow County comprehensive plan. With that, the state does require them to update it every 5 years. We do update portions of ours every year. Again, it was on the agenda at the last hearing for some updates. With that, we've incorporated those updates into the overall comprehensive plan for Bartow County. We've also participated in the public hearings they've had. And with that, we're requesting the council authorize the mayor to sign the resolution that will be adopting the final product.
Okay, thank you. Any conversation or questions? If there are none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. You're up again, Randy. T23-01, sir.
Thank you again. This is the second reading of a text amendment to the zoning ordinance. This is dealing with the height requirements of our business park overlay district. The actual overlay district was done jointly with Bartow County, the business park. It was done so we both have the same regulations, whether it was in their jurisdiction or our jurisdiction. They had made a previous change with that to increase their height from 50 feet to 75 feet for structures. With that, we have amended ours to match what they have done, and it could also help an upcoming project that's going on. But again, it does match the county's changes, and with that, we brought it to the Planning Commission. Planning Commission does recommend this for approval.
Thank you. Any questions for Randy? Thank you. I'll open up a public hearing for T23-01. Anybody wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing for T23-01 and turn it over to council for final consideration.
I'll make a motion to approve the zoning ordinance.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Ms. Reed, you're back up again.
Hello again. This is the first of 3 requested ordinance amendments for the downtown entertainment zone. The first addresses the addition of the silicone pub crawl cups as part of the approved beverages cups utilized in our entertainment zone for the duration of the events only. So we do one event in the springtime and one event in the fall.
Okay. Are there any questions on this item? If there are none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, please.
The next item is request for an expansion of the hours of the downtown entertainment zone. We currently allow open containers in downtown Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And we're requesting expansion of that for Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay. Questions on this item? Discussion?
You're moving the times too, right? The dates and the times?
The times match what we currently have in place for the ordinance.
The original request was a different time. They amended that
Okay.
and brought it to us with the times that
That's
match.
right.
So it really is just a
Could you
change
tell
in
me
Monday
the
to.
times then?
It's 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Most of our businesses are closed. We do have some after hours, but at that point, it just didn't feel necessary to have the district extend to those hours.
This might be a question for Randy or Keith. Sorry, Randy, to bother you. But like, if we left the time the way it is, and let's just say a holiday or something, and when I say a holiday, like a festival type holiday happened, can we allow it outside of that day? Like, could we allow, like, you know, let's just say something fell on a Tuesday and we wanted to be able to have that. Is that something that the city at that point could just say, hey, we're going to expand the zone for that 24-hour period or for that time, that day?
The way the ordinance is currently drafted, no. Y'all could draft the ordinance to grant Randy the authority to do that, or yourselves the authority to do that for special events or special days.
And our festival
if you
zone
wanted to.
ordinance still exists.
Yeah,
But the festival ordinance is only for that little zone, right?
yeah, the
Right
little
down here.
entertainment area, yes.
You're basically just wanting to extend it to essentially allow it to be basically
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
just as.
Correct. Monday through Saturday. So we're just extending the days, not the the hours in accordance with the days, yes.
The other thing I'll mention relative to that is, again, when we worked through a rather extensive process of trying out the entertainment zones, at least in my mind, the thought was on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, these are times when the restaurants are kind of overflowing with people waiting to eat in the restaurants, and this would give an opportunity for that overflow. You don't have to be penned in, you can be out and move from there. I don't know that, again, especially on a Monday where you've got a good number of the restaurants that are closed, Tuesday, Wednesday, again, that's I just ask council to take that into
No,
consideration.
I agree. If you're ready, I think I got a good feel on this, if you would like a motion.
I'd like for there to be enough discussion, or
Yeah,
we can
well-
have a motion and see where it goes. It
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
matter to me.
me personally, I think that, this came up, we talked about it a good bit here lately, right? I mean, for the last year, this keeps coming.
Alcohol seems to come up an awful lot, yes.
So, I mean, to me, more time would be better to look at, if there's a need for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So I'd like to make a motion that we deny it and leave it exactly the hours and days that it currently is.
Okay, got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor of denying the motion, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Okay, it's 3-2. I have the opportunity to vote, and I'll vote in favor of the motion, so it remains.
denied.
It's denied, 4-2. Next item.
The next item is a request to expand the boundaries of the district. So we are requesting an expansion east towards Stonewall and west towards Noble Street. At the last meeting, Councilman Stepp had requested a map kind of showing the existing boundaries. And so beyond our downtown entertainment zone, which you see there in green, we just went ahead and included all of the additional boundary maps for downtown. We have a variety of different boundaries, including the expanded downtown business district for package sales of alcohol that does extend to Stonewall.
Do we have a map for the proposed expansions?
Yes, we do.
What?
Go back to the other one?
Well, it's
I see.
So what we currently have is in green for this map.
Sorry I asked for this, guys.
Yes, this map makes everything very clear, Jace, thank you.
All right, well,
colorful.
maybe I can ask some questions that will help everyone, especially me. So, the red is the original DDA boundary.
Is our Downtown Development Authority boundary from 1981.
Is it still there, or it has expanded?
It is still in place, and it is effectively our largest district. Our business improvement district has expanded outside of those boundaries. And so I think the point this really illustrates is that we do not have consistent boundaries for all of our downtown districts. The overlay districts do have a consistent core, but the boundaries are expanded to kind of suit the evolving needs of our use in downtown.
Okay.
This may have been discussed last meeting, but just what's the basis for the request to expand?
So right here, this is our existing boundary. We have our downtown business district for alcohol sales already expanded to Stonewall. So we're asking for an expansion so that people can currently walk to Drown Valley. They could walk to Largos here,
Okay.
and then including Nagel's Bagels and Mule House
Okay.
on this side. And so it would be to include the three businesses.
So basically just include new businesses.
Correct.
I thought, but, I mean, and I know that right now, is it Mule? No, Noel and May. They're not included in this?
They are not. They would be within the boundaries were we to expand it.
Oh, okay, so it does go up.
Well, if you were to
Up to
expand
Noble
it,
Street.
if you were to expand it all the
East.
way to Stonewall, then it would include them.
No.
Oh, excuse me,
To
if you
Noble
expand it all the
Street.
way to Noble Street, excuse me.
That's right. Okay, that was where
Then
I
it
was
would
confused.
include them. You have to remember when the original boundary came in, and I know it makes it much easier to do things at streets. But when we the original boundary, I think only went a little bit into west of Main Street to include, west on Main Street to include the 101 West Main.
Correct.
So, again, I guess the option, are you asking it to go all the way to Stonewall? Or are you asking it just to go to the property line of Mule House? Is it-
Stonewall just seemed like a logical visual boundary. And so since,
We're on opposite ends.
Yeah, we're up, Stonewall's that way.
Noble.
I'm sorry, I keep saying Stonewall.
it's true,
I mean,
the
Noble.
two
I
streets.
apologize.
So Noble Street and Stonewall Street just provided logical street boundaries versus property lines, which are just harder to see.
Yeah.
They're harder to define.
Well, on a completely separate thing, well, it's not really, but I know that this has been a topic in regards to the DDA boundaries, and I'll be honest with you, I've been on here for 16 years. I'm still trying to figure out all the difference, the DBD, the DDA. entertainment, business improvement district. I mean, I think between now and maybe next year visioning, we need to continue to come up with a master plan of what those need to really look like. I appreciate your map, but I'm more confused now.
Happy to help.
So, but I will take these.
But you do have two, and again, what we're looking at is we've got two different areas that are looking to be expanded.
Yeah.
And again, I know that there are some that like one and not the other, some that like both, some that like neither, or wherever you go.
Yeah.
So we can handle both of these expansions as one, or we could handle them separately. Whatever council wants to do, if you put it in the form of a motion. And again, I'm all for more conversation if conversation's needed.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Well,
Okay, well, now, what was your motion to approve?
To expand both.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Okay, just wanted that clarified.
So I got a motion and I've got a second. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Wait,
Say-
I want
Okay.
to,
Go
I'd
ahead.
like to
There is an
amend the
opportunity to speak.
motion.
Well, you can't amend it till after, now we've got a
Well,
first.
no, we got a first and a second.
By Robert's
The
rules.
appropriate procedure at this point is he can offer an amendment. Somebody can second it, and if they do, then the appropriate procedure is you vote on the amendment first, and then you actually vote on the underlying motion. Don't ask me why, but that's what it is.
Okay, well, that's what we'll do. You just keep score because I'm already lost. So you have a motion, you would like to amend the motion?
Yeah, so the motion is to expand it both ways.
Yes.
I'd like to amend the motion to strike the expansion to Cherokee Avenue to Stonewall Street.
Okay. So I've got a motion to the amendment to the original motion. Do I have a second on that?
Just out of curious, what would be the difference from the map that's shown up there?
You just want to take the green on the right.
The whole, it would take off the whole green on the top,
Yes.
not part of it, okay.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure of the streets.
All right, and last call for a second on that amendment, and that dies for lack of a second.
That it does.
Okay, so now we have a motion for the, and a second on the approving both sections of expansion. And so all in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign,
No.
and motion carries 4-1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Morgan, you've got a bunch of them.
We're asking the council to, and good evening, we're asking the council to amend the schedules of charges. We wanted to update it to remove the advanced payment requirement for City of Cartersville Schools, City, and Bartow County. And additionally, we wanted to take away just the portion that says what the convenience fee is from our third-party vendor, because we know that's going to go up in this next year.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Freddie on this item? Again, this is a first reading. We will take this up at our meeting on September the 16th.
February.
February.
Yeah, you are really jumping ahead.
I'm really, yeah. All right, next item, Dan, you've got that one. Freddie, you hang right there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Amendment to the intergovernmental agreement with the Cartersville Farmers Market. We've been contributing $5,000 with the county and the CBB, and they've asked for additional increase, and I will recommend approval to go to $7,000 per year for the farmers market.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Are we going to expand the area of the farmer's market?
At this point in time, they've not made their request. I mean, we're working with them on those banners that we presented a few meetings back. They wanted to, actually came to us about, the mayor and I, about the farmers market banners. So we're trying to keep growing the market. At this point in time, they don't foresee going across Cherokee, but
They're working on it.
they're working on it.
The numbers continue to grow as far as the number of sales.
Yeah, but could we go to the other side of Church Street Bridge?
At this point in time, they've not asked for additional space.
Yeah, they feel like they've got enough space for this year.
Will they
But-
have the parking? Will we have parking right here?
They're aware that they can park there, but they can't block in front of the fire bays in case.
No, I'm talking our new, where we just took down the building.
Oh, yeah, well, we will pave over that. They will have available parking available.
That's what I was saying. Will that
Yeah,
parking be
that's
ready by
not-
these
Yes,
farmers?
yes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions or discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Back to you, Freddie.
Yes, sir. We wanted to bring the sublease renewal. Last year, you all approved a lease with Cartersville Outfitters. They wanted to renew that lease, and we did go up 10% on the lease portion for that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments, or motions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Updated architectural engineering service costs.
Yes, sir. CPL, our architect for the Water Department Administrative Complex, their price is set off the GMP price that is set by Reeves Young. So we're bringing that back to you. It was about $100 grand difference because of the additional costs on the building. So we're asking for that approval. You approved the original one in June, and we're coming back for this now.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Guaranteed maximum price for Reeves Young.
Yes, sir. This is the guaranteed maximum price for the Water Department Administrative Complex. We're asking, the GMP that we did get from Reeves Young was for $12,032,664. We're asking for a 5% contingency on that, additional $600,000, for a total ask of $12,632,664 for the Water Department Administrative Complex.
And that is financed how?
That is Water Department reserves. We have the funds for that.
Just out of curiosity, what was the total cost, the ending cost for the gas department?
Probably about 10 million if I recall. I'd have to go back and look. It seemed like it was around maybe 9 to 10 million, maybe.
And with the water department, when we're moving them over to the SR, will we be uprooting all those old tanks? I mean, are we doing all that on the new property, or will we be using the same system down there?
Well, this site is going to be where the admin building, but we're saving space for where the pollution control plant is, so for future growth. And that's the whole point. Sydney and Freddie and them have worked with the architect to use this for their facility. I mean, they've been in the old house there, and the distribution center has warehouse space down there. But the goal being that Dothan Ferry Road property will eventually expand the pollution control plant over there. So it allows us to stay in that area versus having to find another location for the pollution control.
So essentially, what we're doing is building some admin buildings.
Yes.
Okay.
Admin, distribution.
And labs.
Yes, and labs. That's
And
correct.
labs, all the labs that are on that site.
It just seemed a bit steep to me, that's why I was asking. And obviously, I know that I'd rather get a maximum than do these change orders.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
But I personally, again, it seems a bit overpriced by about 2 million or so.
Unfortunately, it does, but if we wait a little longer, is this going to get, I mean, we've already bid out the steel pricing, the contract's already bid out the steel pricing. If we had to go back to the market, it would even go up higher,
And
unfortunately.
you know, it wasn't that many years ago when we built fire station number 3, and now we get to turn around to build that, and the cost for that is doubled.
Double. Yeah.
And so, I agree.
I just-
No, I know you're not complaining, it's just, it's all expensive, and it's.
I just was, I
Yeah.
know that we just completed the gas department, I was just thinking that if we were adding all this, uprooting and adding these new tanks and all that stuff, I would understand the 2 million increase, but, I also understand that obviously real estate these days is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, council, chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Last one for you, Freddie.
Yes, sir. It's the quarterly invoice for our pension fund investment advisor, Siegel Marcos. It's for $18,000. We're bringing that before you to ask for approval. It'll be paid out of pension fund as we do.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions? Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Mr.
Thank you
Hackley,
so
you're
much.
up. Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, sir. This is the invoice for Everbridge, which is our digital citizen alert platform. The invoice is for the annual cost of the service, which totals $10,190.60. This is a budgeted item and is recommended to council for payment.
Thank you. Questions for Logan? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Forsyth, smiling all the way up here, you got your building.
I voted, did you see me?
He's also got a new engineer.
Yes.
Wow.
We did. He starts the 21st
How long
of this month.
how long did it take y'all?
A year and 2.5 months.
You must be pretty excited. Congratulations.
Very excited.
You're the second happiest person in that building behind Ed, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want to belay the point, but just to add to the building, we are combining 3 separate campuses into one building. So the admin office, which houses 7 people right now, our laboratory for water and wastewater laboratories will be coming out of the plant and into this building. And our distribution and collection office, where the backhoes and the dump trucks and the gravel and all those things, will be coming into the same building. So we'll take 3 campuses, combine it into one, and allow the entire west side of Walnut Grove Road to be owned by the wastewater plant.
And, you know, I just traditionally, what we've seen is people kind of throwing out a bid and then ultimately change ordering us to death to get to what the ultimate number would be. So I did respect the fact this was a maximum. I was just trying to do a little bit of a comparison. I totally understand and glad to see it done. I thought it looked beautiful.
We had the same shock when we saw them.
All right, let's buy some water meters.
I'm sorry, the other side of that is also it's a construction manager at risk, so we're going to be trying to use as many local contractors. That Breeze Young, that's their whole point, is basically try to use local contractors to help them.
Okay, I'm sorry to make this longer. My request tonight is for a budgeted purchase of water meters from our sole source supplier, Kindle Supply, for $36,870.60, and these are our AMI meters as well as appurtenances.
Great. What's the lead time on those? We get them?
We can get them tomorrow.
That's great. All right, questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Sydney. Mr. Greer, you're up.
Good evening. This first item is for the approval of a support renewal for our Cisco dual factor authentication system. This is from CDWG for $10,552.60. This is a budgeted item and we recommend this for your approval.
Okay. Any questions for Stephen on this? If there are none, a motion's in order.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next one for you, please, Stephen.
This next item is the construction and installation of a fiber pathway built to 3 new spec buildings that are near Hillview Avenue and Apex Drive. I think that's up behind Harbor Freight. Total amount for this project is $17,339.75 from NCI. This is not a budgeted item because the developer just reached out to us. But we would like to use the 2020 SPLOST funds. We recommend this for your approval.
Thank you. Do we have a contract with them to provide that service to make sure we make our money back after we run it out there?
It's speculative, but the developer picked a fiber provider to go with. More than likely, we'll get the business.
Gotcha. Thank you.
We typically do. A lot of these companies, especially that size, they have dual service providers, and they chose 2. So typically, they'll just go with the 2 that are there.
Gotcha. Thank you. Any other questions? And if not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. While Chief's making his way up, Chair will entertain a motion to add 2 items to the agenda this evening.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
2 items added. Hello, Chief McCann.
Good evening. So this is a request to purchase Power DMS, which is a software that will help us manage the CALIA program that we're starting. It's $12,500, and we'll pay for it with federal asset forfeiture funds.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or discussion? If not, a motion.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Chief. You got one more.
Yes, sir. Back in August, we applied for a Homeland Security grant for school safety. We subsequently got approved for $100,000. Had to do with active shooter training that we're going to train the entire department. We've already sent 2 officers to train the trainer, but this is a request to purchase 10 shields, 6 level 3 handheld shields, and 4 level 4 shields that have a trolley. Both will stop rifle rounds. And we're also requesting to purchase 10 Daniel Defense rifles. The total cost is $93,834, and it'll be paid for with the grant.
Okay. Thank you. Questions for Chief on this item?
Riot shields?
Yeah, well, they're bulletproof shields for active shooter type situations or search warrants and, yep.
Okay. Any other questions? If there are none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Mr. Porter, you've got the first item added.
Yes, Mayor, this is a vendor agreement with Polco, who has done the citizen survey for us in the past. They've actually expanded their database and allow us to do sub-surveys. Recommend approval of this citizen survey. I expect to go out in the next 6 to 8 weeks. But we are working on a sub-survey for the Parks and Rec. Total of annual cost is $24,800. It was not budgeted, but we do have funds available to pay for that.
Thank you. Any discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Final item, Mr. Lovell.
Mayor, this is an assignment of easement rights for the installation of sewer facilities for the Crown Inn property off of Felton Road. Basically, they have private utility easements, which they have the right to assign to the city, and they're assigning that so the city can install its facilities therein. It is recommended by staff for your approval.
Okay. Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions on this item?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Is there any other business that needs to come before council this evening? Step forward, sir, if you would give your name and your address for our clerk, please.
My name is Rayburn Taylor III at 414 West Main Street, Cartersville, Georgia. I'm here to speak in opposition to the planned performance patio or stage at the Cartersville Library on Main Street. They have discussed with the neighbors that they would like to put one in. It is on the lawn on the east side of the library next to School Street. I'm opposing it based off of noise. I live across the street from it. I don't want to hear it. I'm concerned about trash. I'm concerned about more homelessness at the library, which is already an issue, and the library has admitted that. Also, they have stated at the library that trash and the restrooms being trashed during Roselawn is an issue, which I think this would be a similar type problem if they had performances at the library. I have concerns about parking on School Street and that impacting ambulances and fire trucks if they are needed. And we already have an amphitheater downtown in an appropriate location and one at Clarence Brown that I don't think gets used much at all. And then a final concern I have is their design has 5 rusty patina panels that would be on the backside closest to my home. Which I think would make it kind of look like a new Taco Bell design. And I don't think that's appropriate in a historic district, especially when I can't have rusty patinas panels on my home. So I'm just here to voice strong concern and strong opposition to the project. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Taylor? When does that go before the HPC?
I have
Guess
not
it's an
seen it
unfair
on the
question.
agenda, so it could be scheduled for the February. Let's see.
I've not seen the agenda yet.
Yeah, so,
Does it come to us at all?
The funding.
Possibly, that is property that y'all lease to the library, so if they are making improvements, I would actually have to look at the lease to see whether or not y'all have to approve those. I don't know, I don't recall the terms of it or not. If not, then the normal approval process would be HPC would approve it, and then staff would review during design phase to see if it met the requirements of the city's development codes and zoning ordinances.
I don't know if this happened during your time away, but during one of the work sessions, we were approached about the idea, and I can't remember who brought it to us.
Well, I think I did or had Freddie do it just based on Carmen Sims bringing it to our attention because it was our property. But
Right.
again, we can go back and look at, this has been several months ago, and look at.
But the bottom line, I think according to
Yeah.
what you said, is if council decided that it was something that we didn't want to allow, we can mention that to the library and stop it right there, is that
Well, you
possible?
can, depending upon the lease, it's what's in the lease, whether they have the right to do certain improvements to the buildings or property with or without your permission. And I just don't recall off the top of my head what's in that lease with respect to that.
And so, and again, I'm just trying to get the mechanics of this out. Even if, let's just say, for instance, the HPC meeting was last week and we didn't know about it,
Yeah.
the council could still
If-
advise or deliberate if the lease was
If the
structured in
lease
such a way.
is drafted that way,
Okay.
yes.
All right,
Could I ask Mr. Taylor a question?
ask fire away.
You had a meeting that you went to about this, is that?
Yes, the library had a
Did they
meeting.
offer anything, any compromises that, to the area that?
No, it was suggested to move it to they have 3 outdoor spaces already.
Yeah,
It was suggested to move it to 1, but Carmen did not have interest in that.
okay, so there was no compromise that was tried to be made or anything?
Can I ask you a question too?
Sure.
Did they tell you exactly what the purpose, for this,
Outside performances.
but just, they don't have anything specific that they,
I don't believe so, but I'm not certain.
okay.
So, can we get staff to follow up with
Yes.
the library and kind of see what the overall plan is, and we can inform council, and we can kind of take it from there?
We can get an update on that and also get Keith's contract.
I'll look at the lease and see whether y'all are required to approve that or not.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any other business to come before council this evening? All right, that being said, if there is none, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Stay gold.